think the reason why people don't want love is because most women want their bills paid.
Ooh.
They got 4 or 5 people because they got more than 4 or 5 bills.
Why did they call you toxic, B?
Too handsome.
I need a man who can take care of me. I feel like I've been with a lot of broke men. Ryan.
As a man, if all you have to offer is your money, you're also broke.
I've been with many women that have put their work before me.
But you didn't marry them.
Maybe I did.
So are you single or are you dating?
I hate it, but people say I'm the female version of Kevin Samuels.
Get ready, you ready, because I'm ready for it. Can a night, it's a night.
Welcome to Nick Cannon at Night. Oh, I am super excited because this is the nighttime gathering where we talk about love, sex, and relationships with the experts and my personal friends. And to the left of me is truly an expert and a personal friend at this point. We've been doing so much television together, and you've seen this guy all over the place, and he's also a New York Times best-selling author and a sex therapist in real life.
Yes, I am.
Y'all make some noise for Dr. Mike Dow. My brother. And to my right is a very special guest, someone who goes viral on all of her podcasts, but she has her own podcast that she produces called It's Given, and her background is also in the space of uplifting, motivating, and relationships as well. The one and only Sarah Fontenot. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
We've gone viral many times, but you've been quite opinionated when it comes to, you know, the dating world.
Definitely.
Yes, so this is the perfect place to be. As I always say, this is the perfect place for a date night. It's a vibe, right? We got a vibe up in here. And if anybody has any questions, we would definitely be here to help and educate. Well, he's gonna educate, I'm gonna entertain. We call it edutainment. And we're gonna get right to it with our first at-nighter. Let's see.
What's happening, y'all? It's your girl, K Beauty, with 2 T's. I'm 27 years old, and I'm from Riverside, California. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why don't people want love no more? Like, you know, they want to have 4, 5 different boyfriends and girlfriends. They don't believe in marriage. Like, what happened to the picket fence? And the family barbecues and the dog running in the yard? Like, what happened to that? What happened to the old school love? Bring that back. Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't trust it. Y'all see people getting done wrong and y'all just give it up. No, I want love. I need love. That's what I'm saying. Like, what happened? Like, where did the world go wrong? That's why people just be walking around mad all the time.
Right.
Because they don't got no love. Like, see, that's why people don't sleep at night. They don't got no love. They can barely eat. Because they don't got no love. Bring that back and watch the world just be a better place. That's what I'm saying. Where's the love at? Where's the Martin and Gina's?
Yeah.
Huh? Where is it at? I'm confused.
Okay, figure waves.
Right.
She wants some love. I hear her. I mean, things are so, you know, non-traditional these days. And if I would give my advice, I feel like we have so much access to stuff that the goal is to hustle and make it to the top and get to the next one. Where before, like, we were taught, or our parents and their parents were taught to establish and buckle down and be traditional and find your person. I don't think that school of thought is out there, because like she said, she wants that Martin and Gina type love.
Right.
But, you know, that's not really what's perpetuated through social media.
Yeah.
That's not what's perpetuated when it comes to, you know, access. And because we have access to so much.
Well, and you always say access to excess, and I think in this day and age, you know, decades ago, people were way more likely to be married at 20, have kids at 25. And there's pros and cons, right? Because the pro is there is something very healing about long-term relationships.
Absolutely.
People live longer, less likely to die from cardiovascular disease.
Really?
Yeah. If you have a heart attack, if you're married, you're more likely to survive.
So single people die quicker?
They do, on average. They do.
Y'all better find
you know,
somebody.
but the pro is that we're not in these little boxes anymore. So I guess my advice for her is, it sounds like she knows what she wants. The nice thing in this day and age, you can have anything. You can have it very traditional. You can date 4 people at the same time. sounds like she knows what she wants. So, you know, follow your heart.
Yeah. You know, I think the reason why people don't want love is because most women want their bills paid. They don't want love.
Oh.
They got 4 or 5 people. They got 4 or 5 people because they got more than 4 or 5 bills. And I think as long as we're in this transactional era of time, it's never going to be able to get back to love. We got to focus on the core value of what actually matters inside of a relationship. And we've strayed too far. Honestly, don't get mad at me. I know there's a lot of ladies in here.
I'm seeing all the faces behind you.
It's the truth. You know, honestly, we live in a prostitution era.
Wow. She kept it. I told you she was gonna keep it real. So, but let's unpack that a little bit because it feels like I think that's similar to the idea of just like that hustle mentality.
Yeah.
Like where before people were looking for a good husband, but now women are like, I don't need no husband.
I know.
I'm getting to the bag. I'm gonna make it on my own. And what they need men for isn't the same thing what they needed men for generations before. So I don't really think there's nothing wrong with the hustle or a woman that's out there trying to get hers, whether it's her bills paid or if she just, her bills already paid, if she just want a little something at night. Like, I feel like now the playing field is a little bit more even where traditionally it was a man out there establishing a career and a home, and then he would go find a good wife. He who finds a wife is a good thing.
He finds favor with the Lord.
Right, but in that, the scripture didn't say she who finds a husband.
No.
So I think, but now it's an even playing field, and everybody finding each other.
Nick, I challenge you on that. Because
Challenge.
in the Bible, for those that know, if you turn to Proverbs 31.
A virtuous woman.
If you are a virtuous woman.
Is any virtuous women in the house?
Okay. Okay.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
It speaks on how to be a wife. There are plenty examples of good wives in the Bible. Look at Ruth. Look at Esther. It may not say a woman. Yes, there's so many. It may not say a woman that finds a husband, but it teaches you how to be a wife. And I think that as long as we're in this transactional era, and it's been this way for a long time, because I know a lot of married people that are miserable, and I know a lot of married people that are very happy. But there are the majority, I would say, and you could attest to this more probably than I can, but I would say most people are married, but they'll never experience what it means to be husband and wife. Those are two very different things.
Wow. That's...
In my opinion.
I think there's a lid to every pot. I think if you want a transactional relationship that is absolutely out there in this day and age, you know, my job as a sex therapist, as a couples therapist, I'm never judging people. I always have to see, like, what is it that you want? What is it that makes you happy? I think there are a lot of people who can have really deep, incredible, monogamous relationships, and it has nothing to do with money. But a lot of people, they need security financially to feel okay, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you come from a childhood where you just don't have money and, you know, you're moving from place to place, sometimes there is a certain amount of money that does make you okay, happy, stable. So if money is
stability can make you happy. Money won't make you happy, but stability and freedom makes you happy.
Yeah.
And money brings those things.
Yes.
And in research, especially when you're below the poverty line, those relationships are much less likely to last. So there is something about money. So when people call women a gold digger, or he's a gold digger, it's like, well, I don't. Sure, if you don't like that man, maybe you're a gold digger. If you don't love that man, maybe you're a gold digger. But I also think that for some people, we have to realize that money is important. If you are getting kicked out and you have kids, you think your marriage is gonna last easily? Probably not.
They say most of divorce is financial issues, like the largest part. So success and stability is attractive.
Yes.
Like when you see somebody successful, male or female, you're gonna be like, oh, they're living life in an abundant way.
Yeah.
I'm attracted to that.
Yeah.
And especially if that comes with comfort and stability. To even as a man, I still desire a successful woman. Like I feel like, oh, and it doesn't even have to be financially successful. If she's on her job of whatever it is that she desired from college or however those things, that type of energy is successful. I mean, is attractive. So for me, if we're talking just love, my question is in a sense where how do you really define it? Like even what she was asking is she saying like one person for the rest of our lives, because I feel like I done found love a whole bunch of times. And I appreciate everyone that I've found love with.
Yes.
Like this human experience that we're all existing, the fact that I've gotten to know, I've learned from so many amazing women, had so many different lives around the world. It's like, I believe that's success. And I believe that, to me, I'm rocking with that. And that's someone who doesn't have a non-convict. You're married, but, you know, your husband is I mean, I don't really know him personally, but I feel like you guys are equally yoked in that sense that you found your match. Yeah. But from the outside looking in, people would judge that. And people would say, that's not real love and all that stuff. Or on the other end of the spectrum, people would say, that's absolutely love because they're loving the way that they want to love. Right. So for me, when someone is saying, what happened to love? I don't think love ever really went nowhere. It's just people define it differently.
I love that. And, you know, for any of my ladies out here, if you are ever called a gold digger, okay, my question to anybody that says that stupid statement is, who in the hell is mining for rocks? First and foremost, but to be
Why
clear,
you mining in the first place?
But this is the thing. In order to mine, you have to have gotten the tools. Now, that's the part we don't focus on enough.
I see where you're going.
It's okay for you to want what you want, but are you qualified for what you're asking for? Do you have the tools in place for what you're asking for? Can you sustain what you're asking for? There are a lot of people, not just women, but men as well, that want things that they're not necessarily qualified for, but feel entitled to. And I think that's the issue. That's why we're lacking that love piece.
You say you can't dig for gold with a plastic spoon.
Period. No. Go to the beach. Hit that beach, baby.
I hear you. Hey, well, this conversation is starting off right. Hopefully that helped. And, you know, I think 3 varied opinions on what love, and that's the thing. You define love for what it is. Yes. If you're looking for that monogamous, traditional scenario, it's out there for you. Find who like you, like who wants the same thing you like, and I think that's where happiness lies. But I think we got another at night in front of the nightclub talking to us. Let's see what they gonna say.
Hey, at night, it's your girl Alexis. My question for you is, do I date based on who I am or who I want to become?
Wow, that's exactly what you were just talking about with the tools. I want to know what you want to become.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Doc.
I was just treating somebody the other day, and this is very common in my office, where there's this phenomenon of repetition compulsion, this phenomenon. And when people sort of come from a past where there was an abusive dynamic in the home, sometimes there's a subconscious part of you that will actually attract that.
Oh, for sure.
And I will never forget the look in this woman's eyes when she said, well, I chose him because that's what I thought I deserved, right? So I think for some people, you are looking for something that is familiar. Love shouldn't always be familiar. I think there is something about love that should change you.
Right.
You know,
is that what the world, or the new term trauma bond, is that where? Like when you're desired, or like you're attracted to things that...
Yeah, so traditionally, the original definition is trauma bonding. You sort of, your abuser, and you sort of get bonded.
Right.
But in this day and age, a lot of people are using that term to describe 2 people who are romantically involved and their traumas play off each other.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
So I do believe if there's a part of her that's thinking, do I want to date for who I want to become? That's a hint. My guess is it's more the latter for her, because I think that she knows that maybe the people that she is dating are not maybe good enough for her.
And is there anything wrong with being aspirational when it comes to dating? Like you want to date up. You know what I mean? You want somebody that's, again, in that space, super successful, got it going on, so you know, you just want to surround yourself with that type of good energy.
Well, I think there's this difference between opposites attract and birds of a feather flock together. So when we look at research, we know that people who are of the same religion, your values, even your age, your race, your background, when we look at people who stay together, they tend to have a lot of things in common. Not always, but a lot of the time.
Right.
But in terms of personality, we do see, and I see this in my office all the time, that opposites attract. That for somebody who's an extrovert, they want an introvert. For somebody who is, you know, if you want a traditional relationship, somebody's gonna, and it's not always the man, somebody's gonna play the provider role, and the other one wants to be sort of the housemaker. And sometimes it's the woman who's the provider and the man who's the housemaker or raising the kids. So I don't know.
DraftKings Casino has your playbook for gaming action all season long. Play thousands of popular slots for a shot at jackpots. Over $400 million has already been awarded. Looking to score big? The thrills are waiting and the jackpots are ready to pop. New players get 500 spins on Huff and More Puff over 10 days. Download the app, use InCan, and claim your spins after your first $5 wager. Get in the game with DraftKings Casino, home of the largest jackpot win in online casino history. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 and over. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins issued as 50 spins per day for 10 days, valid for featured game only, and expire each day after 24 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends October 5th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
You know, I don't think people should date until they're happy with who they are. And so what I say is, you know, a lot of times I hate it, but people say I'm the female version of Kevin Samuels, right?
Yeah, I have heard that. I've heard that.
They do say it. I don't. But if people are honest with themselves, there's a lot of validity to some of the things that he said. And so one of the things that he said was, for women, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't use 7. Right? Well, throw that out the window. What I would say for all of us, man and woman, is to rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, but these are the units of measure: physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, energetically, and physically, spiritually, financially, energetically. I forgot. There's 6 of them. Anyway, so when you do the 6 of those things and you rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, you cannot use 7. Add them all up, divide it by 6 to get your average. Now you can see, well, where do I really rank? What do I really deserve? And most importantly, to understand, where are you at? Because the truth is, the better that you are in yourself, the better person you're going to attract. And if you don't feel happy physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and energetically, doesn't mean you have to make $1 million a year. It doesn't mean you have to be a size 2. It doesn't mean that you have to talk to God every single minute of every single day. But do you have a foundation in those things?
Yeah.
And if you don't, then that's the work first. And when you do that, you attract better. Period. Because when you feel better, you put out that energy. When you put out that energy, it comes to you.
I heard that. Attract better. There it is. You know what you're talking about. And I mean, that's the thing too. I want to just open up before we get to our next question. I mean, the two of you are phenomenally successful in your fields. You're married. You're still single-ish?
I'm not married.
Not married. In that being, I believe, just it seems like you guys would have to put your careers first. How does finding a significant other and maintaining a strong, relationship work out when
it can be hard sometimes? You know, it can be hard. When you're traveling all the time for work, my husband's an ER doctor, so he's at work right now till
2 doctors in the house.
6 o'clock in the morning. And when you have 2 careers, you have to juggle that, right? So it is about making that time. And if you do that, I think you can sort of have it all, but you can't have everything at a 10, right?
Yeah.
You have to decide what is important to us as a couple. What are our priorities? So are you single or are you dating? When you're dating?
I'm dating.
And so how is it out there in them streets?
The streets are great. I love I'm having a wonderful time. I'm very happy. And so what I'll say is, wait, I forgot the question. What is the question?
Are you how difficult is it being out there?
Okay, so let me tell you, as a feminine woman, where are my feminine ladies at?
Is it the soft girl era?
It is soft girl era. Okay, as a feminine woman, it is much more challenging because femininity wants masculinity. And a masculine man is not going to be okay with you working 24/7. So there is a balance that has to happen. Now, that being said, I've heard it said before, there's an alpha submissive thing that's happening, right? Where you can be an alpha out in the streets. You can be an alpha in your business. You can be a boss babe. You can be a business owner. You can be a serial entrepreneur. But when you come home to your man, baby, take that cape off. Put on your little girl shoes and be that little gooey girl that you can be, right? Because masculinity doesn't want masculinity. And I do think that a lot of us women, because there are single moms, there are women that have to be masculine not by choice, but by necessity, because they have to provide for their families, or we're paying our own bills. We're doing all of these things. And so sometimes it's a little hard to fall into that soft girl era.
Right.
So I would say check that at the door. Like, where are you at? Do you mind your tone when you're speaking to that man? man? Are you mindful of your volume when you're speaking of that man? Are you able to be affectionate and loving, or is it insecurity after insecurity after insecurity, which goes back to, are you happy with yourself? You have to love yourself.
I heard that.
But no busy man gonna take no super busy woman. Not masculine.
So even in that idea, because I mean, I like what you're saying in that sense where from a man's perspective, we want to be able to be that provider. We want to be able to be that protector.
Yes.
So if I'm not able to express that to you, then but again, like I said, I like a successful woman. I like a strong woman. But I want to be like. It seems that women will have their guard up, and correct me if I'm wrong, until they feel like they can trust a man that allows them to be soft.
Yes. Because I have a question for you, Nick. Would you be with a woman that puts her work before you?
Absolutely. I've been with many women that have put their work before me.
But you didn't marry them.
Maybe I did. But even in that sense, when I was married, that was what we respected and actually admired about one another, is that we were both on our own boss level trajectory. She was already there. I love the fact that, she put all of her work, all of her passion, all of her art first, and I could be there to be that support.
Was that hard?
I used to say, like, the thing that was dope is, like, when she turned hers on, I turned mine off. So I was very comfortable in supporting her.
Do you think you're special in that space? Do you think most men are like that?
Most men don't get to marry Mariah Carey.
So you're kind of a unicorn.
So like in that, I went in understanding, like, wow, this is one of the most amazing people to ever grace this planet.
Right.
So I was able to play my position in a way. But I think also in my nature, I'm so confident in who I am that no matter if you having a hard day, I got a pillow. It's the soft girl era. Go ahead, sit down. You know what I mean? Like, it's that type of energy that I feel like whatever you need from me, if you need me to, be the man and buck up for a second, I could be that. Or if you just need me to fall back, I could be that as well. So that's how I see it. I don't know. Hopefully that helped you. But right now, I think it's important to kind of go online and see what people are saying too, because obviously people are sending videos in, but everybody don't like to show their face, so they sent this one in. Let's see what they're talking about. Lickety split. Okay. My girlfriend swears she can't get pregnant while she's on her period, so we don't use protection, but I feel like she's trying to trap me. Is that true?
Okay, I got a question.
She's trying to trap you, player. As someone who's gotten people miraculously pregnant multiple times.
Literally, that is miraculous. To get pregnant, it is a 1 in 400 trillion chance of pregnancy.
Yes.
It is actually so hard to get pregnant. It's so hard to get pregnant.
It is.
Did you
That's what they call it.
intentionally, were you shooting up the club on ovulation day? Was that intentional?
Every time?
I mean, was it every time? Like,
I think it's different on scenarios, but people always think that, how did you hit the shot every time?
How?
But it was more, I hate generalizing, but
Well, your swimmers.
Speak specifically.
I got good swimmers.
Swimmers are good, and they can last for 5 days,
True.
which is why women can indeed get pregnant while they're on their period.
Yes, very much.
The expert.
You really need to, the second question, is she trying to trap me? Well, that's a whole different question, right? So I would say, if you don't want to have a child with this woman, wrap it up.
I used to hear that back in the day of women can't get pregnant, on their period, but that's a myth.
Yes, it is.
They definitely can.
Have you gotten anyone pregnant on their period?
I believe so.
Okay.
It is less likely.
It is
less likely, but it's definitely not impossible.
But to your point, because if, sperm can live for 5 days, it depends on what day of the period.
Yeah.
Because usually we ovulate 2 weeks before our period comes. Yeah. In case there's any ladies that don't know that.
Yeah. I knew that.
So you did it on purpose.
On purpose. Exactly. All right, and right now, this is also another fun part of the show, because people aren't so open as us, but they do have some really deep questions that they want to ask. And so we disguise their voice a little bit.
Ooh.
We hide their face.
Oh.
It's time for the anonymous question.
Hey, at night. I am truly in love with my partner. But in the bedroom, she's super boring. She will only have sex with me missionary style. I want to try all types of things, but I think she feels like I'm degrading her. Is doggy style bad?
No.
Do women not like that? Am I a pervert?
Yes.
I'm seriously in love with this woman, but I'm worried that she's not going to be enough to sustain this life.
Oh.
I'm not mad at
That's a great
doggy style man right there. I don't know. I'm all about energy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long they've been together, but as we all know, sex is very important. And if you're not compatible, if you don't have chemistry, that's when the problems begin.
Yeah.
For a man.
So yes, you are a pervert, but I'm a pervert too, so I'm not judging. In that sense of like, we like to explore, and you want to be able to explore comfortably with your partner. And that's even one of the main reasons for this show, because you want to know where the lines are. You want to know what's the healthiest thing for us to do. You want to know, hey, I got a little freak in me and I like this, this, and this. And if you can express it and you can ride with it, and we can freak together.
Yep.
But if not, I never want to be in a situation where I want something that other person doesn't want.
This guy is not a pervert for wanting doggy-style sex.
Yes, he is.
Multiple sex positions are correlated with better orgasms, a better sex life. That being said, I think to your point, if somebody's a 1 and the other person is a 10 and you're trying to bring that Venn diagram together, you guys just may be way too different in the bedroom. Now, there is if I was doing sex therapy with them, I would try to see if there is a little bit of a middle ground, and what I would say to him is use some baby steps. So don't go right
style.
or like the side, or try to mix it up a little before you go into S&M, bondage, kink. That's probably going to scare her.
Yeah.
And probably, it sounds like for his partner, she's just not into that. So maybe it's not.
So slowly work yourself into doggy style.
Yeah, and if he has other fantasies, when I have one partner who's into kink and the other person who likes a very vanilla sex life, sometimes you can start to say, well, what would you feel comfortable doing?
Right.
Can we use some light foreplay? You don't like bondage, can I lightly spank you? Is that, you sort of integrate some of those.
How do you ask that? Can I lightly spank you?
Just like that.
But interestingly, the more people talk during sex, that is also associated with women having more orgasms. So if you can figure that out, now it has to be sexy. It has to, but it is interesting. Communication really does help people in the sex life.
Wow, didn't know that.
Can I say something?
Of course you can.
This is for the men, because I talk to the ladies all the time, but this is for the men. Oftentimes, men, let's say that our bodies are like banks, and you got to make deposits in order to build up the money.
Make them
to
deposits.
cash out at the end of the day, right? Most men never make a deposit until they see their girl at the end of the day. They don't send the good morning text. They don't say, hey, baby, how are you? I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
When your girl calls you to say, hey, baby, can I tell you about my day? You're like, yeah, but then you're not really listening. And there's so many of these little things and opportunities that are missed where a woman even feels like she's ready to open up like a flower, because now sex feels like an obligation because I want to make you happy instead of really feeling how I want to feel. So I think that for men, if men would get into a space, or whoever the more sexual person is, if they could get into a space where they're making the deposits throughout the day. Men are not staying connected throughout the day. Send that good morning message. Let her know that you're thinking of her.
Pic.
Don't send her no pic.
Y'all don't like those, right?
No.
That's a deposit.
No.
I'm joking.
And I would say, don't even say anything sexual. Because the second that you start saying things that are sexual, what happens is we start to think that sexual means now we have to have sex again. So now we feel obligated again.
Right.
So you're getting us further away. Whereas if you sensualize it, you romanticize it, you make it attractive, we're gonna come. We are Charlotte's Web, baby. We wanna be in the web. We wanna do all the things. We wanna open up like a flower for our man. However, if he's in there like trampling on the garden, good luck to you.
So sensual foreplay all day.
Just love. You gotta let that girl, you gotta give that girl touch points. Like, how many times have if you haven't touch pointed her 6 to 10 times,
how do I touch point?
Text messages, phone calls, videos, likes on Instagram, and also, this is off topic.
Here you go.
But men, don't go liking no thirsty looking pictures on Instagram when you in a relationship.
Really?
No.
That's a turn off?
Well, I think you also have to know your partner's love language. And I can tell just sort of, and even the women behind you, when they're agreeing with you, or some women.
That's her squad right there. They're like, tell it, girl.
I can tell that this is a squad,
Clock
and
it.
I can tell that you guys think alike.
Yeah.
And, I think if a man was with you, he really has to know your love language. And for you, a pic is the last thing that is going to turn you on. Do not send that. Or only send that after he is made those deposits. This is what I call the crock pot versus the microwave, right? Because for many women, they're like a crock pot, and men are like a microwave. They're like, oh, I see you, you're beautiful, let's have sex right now.
Right.
It's like, but you didn't do all the things.
You got to cook it, you let it marinate,
So warm
sit
it up
on
a
the
little
stove
bit.
all Sunday.
And figure out, does your woman want pics, or your man want dick pics, or does he want something sweet all day? Does he like something more, or does she like something more traditional?
Touch point.
What's the love language?
Yeah.
Is it, do they like to be complimented, or do they just want to be supported and they want to be listened to?
Yeah.
You have to figure it out, because it is
You got
so
to figure it out.
But this is a very important part of the show. We get to open up the floor, and if anybody wants to ask the doctor or Sarah a question or comment on what we're talking about, please step up to the microphone and present your questions.
My name is Jordan Summer.
Hey, beautiful.
My
Jordan.
question is, when it comes to the whole theme of gold digging or hypergamy, if you will, where do you guys draw the line between who's qualified to want or desire a successful man?
Yeah.
Because could it be that it's not just about the money, right?
Yeah.
From greatest to least, when it comes to women, who doesn't desire the qualities that it takes for a man to make a certain amount of money? You cannot be uber successful, making a certain amount of money if you're not confident, if you're not disciplined, if you're not educated, amongst other things. So what if we're just all attracted to the qualities that creates a successful man, even if you're not quite so successful yourself as a woman? So where do you guys draw the line between who's qualified to desire a successful man?
I don't draw no lines. I draw circles. That is an amazing question, though, in that same sense of what I was saying earlier is the traits of being successful are attractive.
Yes.
So there's nothing wrong with it's about how you approach it once you get together. If you really don't like him and you really just there for, the Chanel bag or the trips or to take a little picture on a private jet, then that's when even though you were attracted to him, it's what you do once you got him that makes you a gold.
Yeah. I think, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but can I just be real?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
All right, we gonna tell the truth tonight on the Nick Cannon Show. So number one, I will say for my ladies, do the best with your genetic potential. Number one, because masculinity. Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
She keeping it a stack in here.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I like how you put that, too.
Do the best with your genetic potential. And the reason why is because masculinity desires an aesthetic. How you were saying at the beginning, Dr. Mike, you said women, it's not just about the money. Well, women naturally seek safety and security. Men naturally seek an aesthetic. The reason why is because beauty, which is really symmetry, it's measured in symmetry, usually means you're healthy. Although that's not always the case, but subconsciously they're seeking someone that will give them a good heir, their legacy. So do the best with your genetic potential. That automatically moves you up the Richter scale of the men that you get to get just because they value an aesthetic. Now, that being said, if all you have to offer is your body as a woman, you're also broke. As a man, if all you have to offer is your money, you're also broke, right? So yes, we women, most women do actually kind of like narcissistic traits. Let's just keep it a buck. However, we do value those things. However, just because they have self-discipline, they're achievement-oriented, that they are mindful of business and all of those things, that doesn't mean that they have emotional maturity. That doesn't mean they have emotional awareness or emotional intelligence or thoughtfulness or compassion, right? And so when you are vetting out that person, what is it that you're actually looking for? Because the money is not enough, I promise you. Yeah. The money is not enough.
That's a great answer.
Be happy.
All right, well, of course, it's always a vibe when we in here, but we get the opportunity to go outside and be in them streets.
Let's see.
See what they talking about. Toxicity at night. Tell me your last toxic experience.
I don't do this anymore, but I used to pull up.
How is that toxic? We're just pulling up, getting what you want?
No. Pulling up if I know something.
Oh,
Yeah.
pulling up if something going down.
Yeah.
Pulling up unannounced.
Yes.
That's toxic.
I don't do that anymore.
Girl, you supposed to be 1,000 feet away from my house. What you doing over here?
So you're not toxic, or are you toxic, Dave?
Man, toxic adjacent. I know. I've been through some stuff, so I know how to, stick and move and get away from him.
He's toxic adjacent. He lived next door to toxic.
I know about them, so, but it's not me, though.
All right, tell me about your last relationship.
It was toxic.
What happened?
He lied, he cheated, so I was like, I'm gonna do my own thing.
He lied and he cheated. Why would he cheat?
That's
Wrong
the
with
question
this man?
of the century, I don't know.
What is wrong? What's his name?
Chase.
You, Chase.
Yeah.
Up against the wall.
Anybody ever called you toxic in a relationship?
Yeah, because I guess I could be a nonchalant type of dude sometimes.
Okay.
So,
you just fall back, you know what I mean? You one of them people like, I don't want no conflict. Are you attracted to toxic women?
No, not at all.
So who's more toxic? The guy who says, oh no, that's just my friend, or the girl that says, oh no, he's like my brother?
Red flags, stay away.
When the girl says that's just like my brother?
If she says that's just a brother or that's an ex, I don't care about him, I hate him, red flag, red flag.
He's still hitting it.
Not hitting it, but she got feelings.
Now, has anybody ever called you toxic?
Absolutely. And I have been.
Really?
I need a man who can take care of me. I feel like I've been with a lot of broke men recently, and so Ryan.
Broke ass Ryan. Your broke ass, broke toxic ass Ryan.
I'm the toxic one now.
We know about you, Ryan. He was immature and broke.
And an actor.
A good one?
He's okay.
You whack ass, broke ass, no acting ass, toxic ass Ryan.
Poor Ryan.
Poor Ryan. Who's more toxic, men or women?
I would say leaning towards men, but women can have their toxic moments.
If toxic was a cologne, what would it smell like?
Axe body spray.
You ever get any complaints from the ladies?
Nah, you gotta, it's a tit for tat. You treat them right, they treat you right.
They ever call you toxic?
Yeah, actually.
Why did they call you toxic, V?
Too handsome.
I love this dude. He said, I'm too handsome. I'm just too pretty out here. So who was more toxic, you or your ex?
Which ex?
I would hit that man with my car.
You would hit her ex with a car?
Wouldn't even blink, would keep going. Put that bitch in four-wheel drive, him.
What did he do?
Terrible person. Just the gaslighting and the manipulating and she blocks his phone number so he emails her.
What's his name?
John.
You, John.
Spend a night bag, not for you, John.
Yeah, you're not getting none of that spend the night bag.
Someone else.
Yeah. So is it toxic out there in those streets?
Yeah. It can be.
That's like what I get from that. I mean, obviously we were having a lot of fun, but everybody was talking about toxic. Like, it feels like everyone has been in at least one toxic relationship.
Sure.
But it was about 50-50 on when I asked people who's more toxic, men or women. And everybody had different reasons why. Most guys, you could tell they was like wearing their hearts on their sleeve because it was like somebody really like hurt them and or didn't accept them because they were more about, the money or whatever but the women had like very specific details about what the guys have done. So I feel like even men, as we're working on our emotions and trying to open up, we can become less toxic through therapy.
Oh, yeah.
And the work. I think you can. A man could get rid of his toxicity.
Dang.
But I don't know if women are challenged in the same way.
Oh.
When they're actually acting toxic too. That's just my observation.
I think healing is for both men, for women, and I think there's just a lot of trauma out there. And no matter what I think in men, toxic behavior tends to look a certain way, and in women, it tends to, in most cases, look another way. But I would say that the root cause of both is the same, right? Like, come on, we all want to be loved. Yeah. We all want somebody to treat us with respect. We all want honesty. We all want somebody with the same values. Because at the end of the day, love is all that matters. Nobody on their deathbed is like, man, I wish I had like $20,000 more. Right? They're like, man, I was really, really loved and I loved.
Yeah.
Call me a romantic, but that's what I believe.
And the only thing, I think, for clarification, what I was trying to say, within society, it feels like you hear terms like toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
But you don't hear toxic femininity.
That's called dark feminine, for the record.
Dark feminine?
Oh, that's out there. And it's very real.
But you can instantly define what toxic masculinity is. Narcissistic behavior, gaslighting, all of these things that they attribute to men's behavior. But women are hurting men every single day, and we don't have a space to say, that hurt me. She was toxic. She mistreated me in this sense. So, or we hold it in, and then we take that energy on, and we're never healed from it. So that's what I'm saying. There's really no space to be like, well, how are women working on their dark feminine thing, or what they're putting men through, especially in this day?
How would you describe that, dark femininity?
Dark feminine, have you ever read the book, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene?
Yes, of course.
So how it I feel like that book is a really dark book because it teaches you the acts of the opponent, right?
Yeah.
So dark feminine is the dark side of femininity. It's how you weaponize your
manipulation
femininity as a woman, and it's very strategic and it's very intentional. And sometimes we don't even know that we do it because sometimes we don't because we're not aware of it until you learn, and then it's like, oh dang, I do that, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that as far as this topic goes, I think that it's happening because men lack leadership and women lack accountability. And if we could address those two things, then we have a different world where you can get back to baseline. But until women are willing to say, you know what, baby, I'm sorry, my bad, I messed up. And until men are able to actually lead something, because we want to feel safe to trust your lead, to recklessly trust you. But a lot of men out here aren't qualified for leadership. Every man is not qualified to be a husband, and every woman is not qualified to be a wife. So until we get to a space where we're working on those things, we'll forever be in this weird era, in my opinion.
In this toxic era.
Yeah.
See, and it's a conversation where I learned, like, toxic, I mean, in a medical sense, right, is what's eating you up, what's destroying you from the inside.
Poison.
And then the opposite of toxic is tonic.
Oh, come on.
What feeds you, what builds you up, the medicine, the tonics that we take to make us better human beings. So, but in that sense, you know, I know a little something.
That was so good.
But in that sense, I think it's, and I always say, you can find the devil in anything, but you can see the God in everything.
Amen.
So it's really your perspective and what you're desiring. If you're desiring to be fed with toxicity, if all you desire is junk food, then that's what's going to be in front of you, and that's what's going. But if you start to take care of yourself from within, you know, and get rid of all of those toxins, you're only going to make space for tonic.
And love can actually heal. So, you know, when you said it can be a tonic, what's so interesting about the brain and love is there are these parts of the brain, the limbic system, this emotional part of the brain. It doesn't really encode time. It doesn't have an understanding of what time is. It doesn't know where you are in time.
True.
This prefrontal cortex, this advanced, very human part of the brain, does know where you are in time. It can actually go back in time, forward in time. There is a part of the brain that just knows, this is what I didn't get, this is what I still need, right? So when you find that, and especially in a romantic relationship, it actually helps you to heal something that you could not get from your life, from your parents, from your upbringing, from your community, and that heals you.
Yeah.
And it has real biological, psychological, and even spiritual effects when you can get that. It really does heal.
So true.
Man, I feel like we did some healing tonight, right? Very informative. Y'all keep it going for Dr. Mike Dow and Sarah Fontenot. It's been an amazing episode. Please, if you got any questions, comments, hit us in the DM. We out.